Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for what happened there. Technical difficulties. The first part did save. So if you do want to go watch the first part of this amazing historic interview, please do, ladies and gentlemen. Go watch the first part. The first part is saved. This is part 2 of Daryl Williams' interview. This is a true honor to have him on here, as I said before, and I do apologize again. People hiring, it's breaking all the rest. We wait for our guest here. I did share out the broadcast. I do apologize again, ladies and gentlemen. Not always, technology is not always our friend. We await our guest here, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, sir. I apologize for that technical difficulty, but the first part did save. It did save.
Good deal, good deal. Modern technology, man, you just can't beat it.
Exactly, man. It's always a pain in the ass. Friggin'. But going forward, I know we were just talking about with your U.S. title reign, which is currently going. They did catch that. We did catch all of that. Is there
No.
is there something you're
No.
wanting to accomplish in IWA you have not?
That's an interesting question. My main focus would be helping develop talent and getting people over. Now, I have not expected to win any of the championships that I've won in IWA since the ones that I have won have been a complete shock to me. As far as being in a match for a championship like that or winning them, like I said, my guy rarely wins matches. He rarely wins titles. He's high profile enhancement talent most of the time. Would be about the best way to describe him. But we're I help with the booking in IWA. I help make a lot of the stuff in IWA now. So we're going to have a brand split pretty soon. My call is going to go on a show that I do not book for because I don't want to have any part of booking for my call.
What show do you book?
What show do I book? I'll be booking a new show called Dogfight.
Dogfight. When shall we see the first premiere of Dogfight? You want to let everybody know?
I wish I could let you know. Right now, there's a little bit of personal stuff going on in my life, so it's going to have to get ironed out.
Totally understandable.
It should be fine. Just a bump in the road. It shouldn't be a problem. And once that gets ironed out, and I believe it is, I think that's going to be fine. Then I can focus back on that again. But it shouldn't be long. I wouldn't give it any more than maybe a month and a half, and that'll I'll get into my part of. I think Chris is going to go ahead with it for a little bit, and poor fella, he's going to run both. He's going to run both shows for a little bit. I'm hoping not too long. Like I said, the personal issues are really not even an issue anymore. That's all good. And so I'll get back on track with that pretty soon, and he won't be having to do that much anymore. I just want to, I guess the same thing that I wanted to do once I settled in with what this online wrestling stuff was and everything. It's just I want to make some good TV, man. I want to put good promos out, and I want to be able to get people interested with my promos and bring them in to watch, and yeah, put the next people over. I'm looking to get out of it. I know Orlando doesn't like that very much. I have pretty much handpicked him to take Hostility to the next level, to be the next generation of Hostility. Orlando there, Fuck Norris. His call is named Fuck Norris, and pretty much since he showed up in DTKA, I had my eye on him. It's a particular look. It's a particular way that the call is played and is portrayed that fits with Hostility, and I feel like his call fits. I felt like his call fit from the first time I saw him in DTKA. Wanted to work with him. Wanted to get to know him personally. We do a thing in IWA. We've been doing it since DTKA, called Off the Record, and Off the Record is basically, you cut promos. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't quite get the promo part of it. Don't quite get the being in the character part of it. The fact that when I'm cutting a promo, I'm not cutting the promo as myself. I'm cutting the promo as the gimmick, and I'm cutting it on your gimmick. I'm not cutting it personally towards you. I'm not saying anything personally to you or about you. And Off the Record is a way for people. It was a way for us to get to know each other, so we know who we were working with, how we could work with them, what was good, to say, what was bad to say, And it's not just that. I mean, we have times where we don't talk about wrestling at all. We just get on there and shoot shit. And I've had some of the better conversations of my life, and on Off the Record with these guys. I wish more people would come through when we have them. I mean, I understand people's schedules and stuff like that don't line up and everything, but it's good. We do them on we were doing them on Google Meets, and then we're now doing them on Discord. We can get more people in the chat on Discord, and it just serves us better for as far as what we're doing. But yeah. Off the Record is a good deal, man. It was mainly Chris's idea, and Chris and I were talking about it because Chris and I will run promos in a chat just for the hell of it. We'll be promoting each other in the chat just for the hell of it. We've done it since DTKA because he's a really strong promo, and I mean, not to blow my own horn or anything, but I'm a pretty decent promo myself, so it's good. Iron. Steel sharpens steel, iron files iron. So if you're working with somebody as good as you with something like that, you're going to get better. Ali is an amazing promo. Orlando's an amazing promo. Like I just said, Chris is an amazing promo. My homeboy Jeremiah, who was my tag team partner, knew him since the backyard. Me and him were wrestling in the backyard. I've known him since middle school, at least. He's a really good promo. And that's really the measure of the competition in something like this. If you're running promos against people, that's the only actual competition you can get in this, because everything else is up to AI.
That is true, and you got to go off what the AI does.
Mm-hmm. So the promo battles are. That's the real test of somebody on one of these things. A lot of people don't cut promos the same. We have Wildman, Alfonso. He's more of a visual promo, pictures and things of that nature. So promo against a picture is a little bit different than promoing against some words, which is much more different than promoing. Like if I'm shooting it live, there's a promo on the UWF page that I shot live. Ran it live, one take, one take promo. I've done that once.
I took a gander at the pages that you sent. I did really enjoy your promos.
Thank you. Yeah, that live one is the only one I've cut like that, and it was easy to cut like that because I was cutting it on Jeremiah. We were supposed to be starting a feud that was going to end up being a world title run for both of us. And he and I knowing each other for so long makes it so much easier to cut promos that people are like, man, y'all dudes must hate each other. Dude, that's my brother, man. I love that dude. But you know what you can say to someone, like that. You know what you can say. You know how far you can push the envelope. Um, and he and I know there's nothing we can say to each other that's going to be a problem, because at the end of the day, we understand what we're doing. So we're trying to make some good TV. What can we say in a promo? What can we do in a promo? We had an idea where he was going to come to my work and he was going to like flatten one of my car tires. We were going to we were going to film all this happening. He was going to flatten one of my car tires.
That
I was
escalate the
going to,
story.
yeah, just to escalate the story. We was going to do this, but we never got to get that far because, like I said, life is life. Things happen. But that's going to be a fire angle whenever it's able to actually play out. That's going to be a fire angle because he and I have been waiting for. We've been waiting for what seems like forever now to run that angle, but it's maybe been about 2-3 years since we had first kind of dipped our foot in that. But that's going to be eventually the whole meltdown of hostility and Fuck Norris taking over and all that kind of thing is hopefully going to be able to be our swan song, mine and Johnson's as actual on screen talent. Been in it for a while. I don't feel like I need to be taking up any more space as far as that goes on an active roster for too much longer. I just stay behind the scenes and help out with that kind of thing. But yeah, man, it's been a ride. It's I would have never thought. I would have never thought that this. I mean, I know we don't take the abuse. We don't take the abuse that professional wrestlers do. But as far as playing characters, some of the best, dude. I'd put a lot of guys that I've promoted with, and since I've been in UWF really trying to do it. A lot of guys I've promoted against and promoted with. Dude, y'all. If all you had to do was run a promo, y'all are ready for WWE. There's a lot of them that are good. There's a lot of them that are very creative. There's a lot of them that have minds for this. It's amazing. It's amazing when you sit down and finally, you get to know people and you get an idea of their body of work and what they're trying to do with their character and all that kind of thing. Everybody's building brands here. A lot of people don't understand that, but you're building a brand. You're building your own brand, and you're trying to help the company that you're in build a brand as well. So we're all ambassadors for whatever federation we may be in. IWA doesn't have an exclusivity clause. We don't care if you're with another. We don't mind if you're with another promotion or whatever. It doesn't bother us at all. I myself, I'm not really interested in being in any other promotions because that's just not the kind of. I don't have the time, honestly. IWA is it's a little more laid back in that idea. Is the fact that if you don't have the time, well, whenever you can get to watch the show, watch the show. Well, if you're actually trying to run a story or an angle with somebody, you're going to want to watch it as quick as you can, so you know what you need to comment on, so you don't come in the chat looking like an idiot, saying some stuff that isn't even applicable to what's going on right now. Like I wouldn't want to miss the show that I lose the United States title at and come in talking about, yeah, well, I'm the U.S. champ and da 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 da. Well, I'm not anymore. So.
Yeah.
There's motivation. There's motivation to watch it as quick as possible, especially if you're in an angle. And pretty much everybody has a spot of some sort in IWA that they should be paying attention to. So we got Orlando here. Orlando here is the IWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah.
Amazing. I would have pegged him for being a world champion in DTKA or wherever he was. It was just it's just a fact of where you're going to get the opportunity at. And there was a murderer's row of talent in IWA. Not IWA, well, yeah, in IWA, but in DTKA there was a murderer's row of talent. And like I said, we got a good bit of it when IWA started. We got a good bit of that murderer's row of talent. But we try to. That's another reason why we wanted to do a brand split, because we wanted to be able to feature everybody like they deserve to be featured.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a little harder. It's a little harder to do when just one person is running, the show and everything. And Not that Chris couldn't. Chris is amazing. Chris has an amazing mind for wrestling and this kind of thing. He had the whole angle. When we were in TWS was supposed to be our swan song. Hostility was supposed to be done there, and he came up with the whole. Chris came up with a whole storyline and everything that eventually had everybody at some point involved in it, and it led up to Jay Johnson and Daryl Williams retiring at the end of it, and it was amazing. And that's why when we started IWA, I had told him to start with that. I was like, dude, man, don't let yourself get burned out on it or anything. But if you want to run this, you can run this. You know, I'll help you. I'll help you out behind the scenes or whatever it is you need help with. But you can be the man out front. You can run it. We just got big. We got big fast. We got a lot of people fast, and it's time to, as we say, it's a pivot. It's time to pivot and do something else with it. So we've already split the roster. We got the people who are going to be on each show. I got to get a couple more, like maybe one or two more calls. I got to get them downloaded, and I'll have everybody I need to start setting my stuff up and getting it going. And like I said, like a month and a half from now, I should be good. And first episode of Dogfight should be sometime in that window.
If I may, it would be an honor if you would like to get maybe Chris or somebody else of your choosing on here, and I would love to do a prediction show before that first show. If you would like that, if you do put out the show before the actual date of the show, I would love to go over a prediction show with you and whoever else you choose to go over this as like a prediction show to see who people would want to, like, who do you think is going to win, and we can all like review the matches. You ever want to do that? Definitely consider.
Yeah, that sounds cool, man. Yeah, we'll definitely look into that. I have an intercontinental title that's going to have to be decided, so that's going to have to do. Yeah, man, that's a great idea. I'm absolutely for it. The best guy I would think would be for that would probably be Chris, because Chris is running the other show. So yeah, man, we could definitely talk about that. I'm all for it. Absolutely.
Whenever you get the card out and whenever like you want to get, we can all get up in here and freaking we can do a prediction show, talk about each card. I'll write it down, put it down, and then freaking we can all just like review it, talk about it, make our predictions, have a fun time.
Yeah, man, absolutely. That sounds great, dude. I'm all for that. Absolutely.
Hell yeah. I'm always happy to help any way I can.
Yeah, man, me too. Absolutely. Just because I don't run in different federations doesn't mean that I'm not for helping out. This is a community that I want to see thrive. There's a lot of toxicity in this community, which is strange, but I guess it's kind of like an actual. Sometimes it's like an actual. It's like an actual wrestling federation locker room. It's like actual wrestling federation.
Wrestling, there's toxicity. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna be blatant right now. Any
yeah,
wrestling,
yeah.
any sport, there's toxicity.
I saw it a little bit. The two shows that I worked with, NWA Mid Atlantic, I got to go, in the back in the locker room and see how they interacted with each other back there. And even on that level, there's politics, and they're having issues with finishes, and because again, everybody's building their brand. And they want it to be presented a certain way, and they want it to come across a certain way, and that might not work for the person you're in the ring with, and it's amazing, man.
That is true.
IWA has got to be the least toxic locker room I've ever been in, and I don't know how that ended up, because there's a lot of personalities that you would think would lend to that kind of environment. I myself, I can be. I mean, if I feel like if I feel like I'm not getting the difference that my call and my body of work deserves, I can be a dick.
Yeah.
But that's just me wanting to protect my thing. I feel like anybody would, and I'm not ever mad when anybody is, because you're protecting your brand.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's some good stuff. There's Chris. What's up, Chris?
Hello, Mr. Chris. We were just talking about you, good sir. Freaking. We're talking about the rise of Dogfight, and we have talked about a lot of things on here. And if you want to go check out the first part is up right now, good sir.
Yeah, Chris's show is going to be called Vertigo. He's run a few shows of Vertigo here. The arena looks amazing. The matches on the shows are always bangers. I saw some AOWE. I was in the AOWE show the other day, and we were doing a little back and forth in there. But I was watching those matches. Those matches were bangers. Everyone I watched was a good match. Um, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for what it's going to be and how it could turn out. It should be a good deal. Should be a real good deal.
I'm excited to see it too. All of IWA thrive, and I'm excited to see where you guys go in the future. And I'm happy to be on the journey with y'all. And it is a great locker room. I've been back there, I have seen, and I have observed, and I really do love being back there with y'all. Now, freaking going with IWA. I know we talked a little bit about DTKA. What do you? And you're still currently tag champions, you said?
Yeah, with all the technicalities and everything, I mean, he's not running. Archie's not running shows on the wrestling side anymore, and I mean, nobody beat us for it before he decided he wanted to
So,
take a hiatus.
so
So
you're
right now, yeah,
the
we're cool.
finals. You're the final champions.
At this moment, yes. If he decides to start it back up again, I don't know what he would want to do with that. But me being an IWA right now and him having his exclusivity, he wants the calls to be exclusive to DTKA, so it probably wouldn't work because I'm not going to leave IWA to go
Yeah,
back to DTKA. It's not going to
that's
happen.
understandable.
But yeah, man. I mean, right now, yeah, hostility. Jay Johnson and Daryl Williams they are the longest reigning tag team champions in DTKA.
Well,
Even if
hostility
even if
grows.
you stop it, even if you stop it from like the last show that we competed in, even if you stop it right there and you say, okay, that's where the reign stopped at, which would be understandable because we're not going to come back. If you stop it right there, still at that point, we're the longest reigning tag team champions in DTKA.
Well said.
But yeah, man, it was cool. It was cool. That was unexpected as well. That whole title reign was unexpected as well. It was a nice little deal to be able to say I held, tag team championships with a lifelong friend. That was cool. I've held a championship at the same time as my fiance's call. I've held a championship at the same time as my daughter's call. My daughter's call is on IWA. Charlie Williams. She's up there. Until just recently, she was the women's world champion.
That's crazy. Congrats to her.
Yeah, she was cool. She was funny about it. She's 4, so she helped me. She told me what she wanted the call to look like and everything. So that call looks like it does because of what she wanted. She did a pretty good job. I mean, explained to me what she wanted, and I did an okay job putting it together for her. But she's hostility because she's my daughter, so she gets the vest with all the stuff on it and everything. And she won the world title, and I was like, hey, you won the women's world title, and she was excited about it. And I haven't told
Yeah.
her yet. I haven't told her yet that she's not the women's world champion anymore because she's 4 and why?
No, I get that.
Why? Yeah, why? I mean, what do you know? But it's been cool, man. It's been a cool little run. As far as fantasy bookings go and E-Federation histories and things like that go, it's been a pretty rich one for me. Never would have thought it, man. Never would have thought in a million years. This was just something I wanted to try. But I guess that's how anything starts. It's something somebody wants to try, and then they take it however they take it. It goes as far as it goes. I mean, I might have sucked. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now.
That is true. And we have talked about your backyard wrestling career to your IWA, AOWE, freaking DTKA career. And it's been an honor getting to know you. And I think people at home are definitely enjoying getting to know who you are.
I hope so.
Um,
Hopefully I ain't been too boring. I can get wordy sometimes and a little long-winded. And a lot of these people that are watching this, Orlando, I know, and Chris, they've heard my story ad nauseum. But everybody has one. I'm pretty proud of mine.
It's a proud story. It's an upbringing, and you've had quite a career history, both in and outside the eFed world. and it is just great to see how far you've come from it and how far you're still going with it. And I continue to hope to see where you take it next, especially with IWA Dogfight coming up, and I am very excited for. And stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. There will possibly be a prediction show with this man and a person of his choosing with us to do that prediction show. And also stay tuned for IWA Dogfight in general and IWA in general. They do great stuff. AOWE does fantastic. XPWF also fantastic. All great federations out there, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to go check out UWF, is what it's called.
Yes, sir. UWF, Untouchable Wrestling Federation. They have a page on YouTube. It's the Higher Society streaming network, and they have a page on Facebook. It's Untouchable Wrestling Federation. If anybody's interested, I can give them the link, and they can go check out that old stuff. It's still all up there. Everything's still up there from way back when, all those years ago when we were there. It's all up there. That's really where the lineage starts for Hostility. It really started in UWF. That's where it really took off at. So if anybody's interested in the history, it goes UWF to DTKA to TWS, which is called something else now. I'm not sure what, to now IWA. The other, when I was running in the federations over in the UK and in Japan and all that stuff, none of those federations are up, and I haven't been able to find anything where they have any content up anywhere. I'd love to be able to, because that's my call still in the mask is Joseph Alexander. That's my call, just really getting into it and, getting his feet wet, but there's not anything up for that. Yeah, the best places to go would be the UWF pages and the DTKA pages. That's where the meat and potatoes of Hostility was. And if anybody knows anybody that works for Hostility Clothing, every time anybody asks me where I get the idea from or anything, it started with their clothing. It started with their T-shirts. If y'all want to work out a sponsorship deal or something, fellas, I'm all for it, because I plug y'all every time I get a chance. And somebody asks me, what come up with that name for? It was a T-shirt I got from a company called Hostility Clothing. And yeah. If they're even in business anymore. I don't even know if they're in business anymore.
Oh. Dang, okay.
But yeah, man, it's good stuff, dude. I've enjoyed it. If you got any other questions or anything, because I've kind of run ashore with the history and whatnot. But if you got any questions, man, I'll field them.
I think I have like two more for you at most. Actually, this is a question I do kind of want to ask. If you had to give me like a top 5 out of your whole entire... Okay, we'll start from your outside of the EFED career. If you've had to name top 5 rivals you enjoyed working with.
Outside of my EFED career. Well, then that would be all the way back in the backyard, and all those dudes I was cool with, and I like working with all of them. They were all
like rivalries that you like really like that speak to you today, even.
Two guys that used to wrestle in the backyard with us, Nick Morris and Jeremy Pyron. Watching those two guys. Anthony, what's up, Anthony? How you doing? That's my cousin. That's my people.
Welcome, Anthony.
Nick Morris and Jeremy Pyron. I used to like watching them wrestle each other in the backyard. I used to thoroughly enjoy watching anything they were doing when they would show up at the same time. It was fun watching them. I liked doing the backyard stuff with my buddy Tommy Strickland. I liked doing it with, of course, Jeremiah Johnson. He was something else back in those days. He used to do the leg drop like Hulk Hogan, and I swear he'd jump about 10 foot in the air, and he'd just drop his leg across your chest, because in the backyard those days, nobody knows how to work a move. Nobody knows how to make it where it's going to be, it's going to look good, but it's not going to feel as good as it looks.
Yeah.
Because we're just doing stuff back there, we just seen this on TV, so we want to try it. We're just some dumb kids doing some dumb shit. But
Exactly.
yeah, he'd be a good 5-6 feet in the air. I don't know. He had a pretty good jump on him, and he'd come down on you with his leg, and it was sometimes it hurt. And it's just a leg drop. Yeah, he was good. I mean, as good as you can be back in those days. As far as my EFED days, anything I did with Rob McKeever in UWF, who was also a member of Hostility there towards the end. He ended up joining up Hostility for a little while there towards the end. Rob McKeever was a spoof on Ric Flair. He was the Nietzsche boy, Rob McKeever, and cut a cut an excellent promo. He was amazing in a promo, and his call was really good. And he was a guy you wanted to see lose. You know, he was that kind of heel. You want to see him lose. The way he portrays his character and the way he cuts a promo, he's the guy you want to see lose. You know,
Yeah.
an effective heel has no idea that he's a heel. He's just he has his agenda and he thinks he's right for his agenda. So he doesn't know that he's a bad guy. He doesn't know that he's a heel. Rob, the way he played his character, that character had no idea that he was a heel. Had his agenda and he was right for it. So yeah, he was amazing. Anything I did with Matt Dawes had a call in UWF. John Reese had a call in UWF. There was a whole pay-per-view called Hostile Takeover, and we had the pay-per-view. We ended up losing the pay-per-view because we're the heels. And it's better at a pay-per-view for the faces to go over. And that was what jumped off the start of the angle with Williams and Johnson going to feuding with each other and everything else. But any of the promos I did with Johnson have been amazing. Any of the work that I did with the Big Bad Baby Daddy or Hustlin' Money in DTKA was amazing. IWA, we're more of a showcase than we are a federation. It's getting to be a little more like a federation than a showcase, but Wildman, the Headhunters, anything that Hostility did with the Headhunters, any of the promos. If you can ever go into like the DTKA page and like look at the promos and stuff that are up there, if they're still up there between like me and between Williams and Wildman, that was something that was brewing since the day Hostility came into DTKA. Because if you looked around and you saw, well, who looks like they're a big deal here? Well,
Yeah.
the Headhunters look like they're a big deal here. Hustling Money looks like they're a big deal here. Who are we going to go at? Well, let's go at these guys that look like, some big scary fucking heel guys. Let's go at them and see, But that match, unfortunately, that match ended up getting, it was just a match that happened on a card when we were in our world title run. And for the build-up that it had, Hostility versus the Headhunters, for the build-up, you're talking about a good year and a half build-up, and then it was just a match. It wasn't on a pay-per-view. There wasn't any more build-up for it. If you weren't on the page or you weren't in the chats, you didn't know anything about the feud that was, between those two factions. It was just, okay, this is a match that's on the show, and
Yeah.
I mean, we won, but it didn't get the, and again, not throwing shade at anybody, it didn't get the treatment that it deserved for what it was. Here, the past couple shows that Chris has run, there's been some interactions between Williams and Wildman. There was a 6-man, it was either a 6-man or an 8-man tag that they were in, and the AI works for you sometimes. The AI works for you sometimes in the fact that anybody who was in DTKA knows about what was, the backstory for Hostility and the Headhunter, so they know about it. So you see, okay, maybe we'll get to see them in the ring, get to see them interact with each other at this point, sometimes, but they would get in the ring and then they get back out of the ring real quick. So they're kind of teasing the match. Then here, just a couple of days ago, Chris ran a mixed match show, and it was me and my daughter's call against Wildman and the Goddess. So we got to see a little bit of the Williams and Wildman in the ring together. And once they finally square off, that'd be another one. I'd like to do some stuff with in IWA, because that match is going to be a banger.
Oh yeah, I look forward to that. I would like to see that.
Yeah, that match is going to be good. If Williams and the Mighty ever lock it up, that match is going to be good. And there's maybe an off chance of it because we'll have like a King of the Ring type pay per view. That'd be a Federation, show versus show pay per view.
Yeah.
So there's a chance that might happen sometime down the line. I mean, at some point, it probably looks like maybe, even Williams and Fuck Norris might lock it up, and that'd be a good match. We kind of teased it a little bit in the chat, and then we're focusing on some other things right now. So we've kind of got away from the hostility dissolving storyline a little bit right now because we've jumped into this separating, splitting the roster and having two shows and everything. So we're going to put that on the back burner for a minute and focus on this, and then we'll come back around to it. It's gonna be good, man. We got some good ideas. We got some good talent. Looking forward to it.
I think I am too. I very much am too, and I think the people watching are too. And as I approach the final question I have for you, what do you want your legacy to be?
This is gonna sound really funny, but I don't really so much care about what my legacy is going to be. If you go back and you look, if you really go back and you go over the history of hostility and my character and whatnot, it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I've been a Hall of Famer. I've been a world champion. I've been a tag team champion. I've been a United States champion. I've held titles when my fiance's character held a title. I've held titles when my daughter's character held a title. I've run a match with my daughter's call. I've done about everything I want to do. The end of mine is just helping the next people get to this level. I mean, none of us are $1 million contracted wrestlers, but a lot of us are, like I said, a lot of us, if it was just running a character, a lot of us would be right there with those guys. And that's what I want to do, man. I want to help the next people coming up through this be good at it and enjoy it. I mean, there's a lot of federations I've been in that I just didn't enjoy being in them because it was always something. These people in the chat, they didn't understand that we're running characters. This is a locker room chat. Why are you always talking junk in the locker room? Mm-hmm. This is professional wrestling. This is professional wrestling. When I come in this locker room, I'm in character. I'm not in here to talk to you about who won the Super Bowl. I'm not in here to talk to you about what was on primetime TV on NBC. I'm here to talk to you about how my character is going to whoop your ass.
Yeah.
That's what I'm in here to talk to you about. I'm not in here to talk to you about how was the weather. And a lot of people just didn't understand that and just didn't get it, and they complained to the people that were running the federations and all that, and it just wasn't any fun. I'm having the most fun right now. I'm having the most fun right now I've ever had, which is on par with the same amount of fun that I had when I was in the UWF. And that's saying a lot because that's probably where I had the most fun, was in the UWF. DTKA was great. It was a great opportunity. It was cool, but it was more like a job than it was a hobby. That's not throwing shade, not saying anything bad about how anybody runs their shows or anything like that, but if it's going to be a hobby, you have to approach it like a hobby. Yeah. And that's what we do in the IWA. IWA, we approach it more like a hobby. And I think that's why it's working out as good as it's working. And I feel like it'll go far. If we keep the same vision and the same idea, I feel like it'll go far and it'll be a good thing.
Exactly. I think it will be too.
Yeah, but my legacy, I don't really care, dude. You can say what you want to about me. You can say what you want to me about me, and then you can go compare what you're saying to me about what my body of work shows, and you can see if what you're saying is legitimate in your mind after that, and if it is, cool, and if not, well, what do you think now? So, yeah, It's cool, man. It's all good.
And you gave us the hard truth. And thank you again for being on here. And I think those
Yeah,
were
thanks
really
for
all the
having me.
questions. Of course, we hope to have you on here again soon for that prediction show we talked about. And we'll see you soon, okay?
Absolutely, man. Have a good one. Be safe out there.
You too. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That was another episode of Fright Night. Stay tuned for the next one.